Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 15-year veteran Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they take on Matt Moore and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, first opened way back in 1972. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium, part of the Truman Sports Complex here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And, CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Set to go in a rematch of what would come to be known later as the first Super Bowl. The Chiefs and Packers are underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Green Bay's offense taking the field, led by old number 12, Aaron Rodgers. And after throwing only 8 touchdowns in his team's first 6 games this year, we got vintage Aaron Rodgers in Week 7. Threw for a season-high 429, 5 touchdown passes. And as noted by head coach Matt LaFleur when he was handing out the game balls in the locker room, the old man ran for one as well.
So I'm believing now that all those questions in the preseason about, will Aaron Rodgers and head coach Matt LaFleur mesh? People are starting to believe that they're meshing quite well, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I mean, think about this. The guys with, 400 or more yards, 5 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown in a game, this is how it reads. The Dutchman, Norm Van Brocklin in 1951. Mark Rippon in 1991. And Aaron Rodgers in Week 7, 2019.
Just can't stump you. You've got everything.
I love the Dutchman. He's one of the all-time great characters in NFL history.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they try to sweep to Jones. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Defensive lineup here for Kansas City, and this is the crew that had 9 sacks in Week 7 after having 11 through the first 6 weeks of the season. 8 of Joe Flacco in Week 7 and 1 of the punter, Colby Wadman. That's tied for their 3rd most in a game since sacks became official back in '82. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 23.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
I'm trying to collect.
The third-year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And the Chiefs' D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Off the draw, here's Williams. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. This a 43-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Chiefs offense taking the field. Of course, that quarterback spot has become an intriguing story for the Chiefs. Matt Moore, at least for the time being, Charles, is the guy. And this is a guy who's been around since 2007. 30 career starts, most recently for Miami a couple years back. But what do they have in Matt Moore?
They have a guy that's going to be supremely prepared, understand the offense well, won't be ruffled or flustered by what he sees because he's a veteran guy, and he's a tough guy. Remember that Miami game a few years ago when he took that big hit and ended up coming back into the ball game? Actually, never left it. That's the type of guy you're going to get, and I think people respond to that. Is he Patrick Mahomes? In no way, shape, form, or fashion, but Mahomes sets the ball awfully high.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Three down.
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
65.
Off the play fake. Moore. And his throw here's incomplete. The tight end Blake Bell, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
In 2018, the Chiefs were looking for help in their offensive line, and they received it from guard Andrew Wiley. A formerly undrafted free agent, he settled in as a mainstay at guard and mauled people on the offensive line. They expect big things out of him in 2019 and beyond.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Mike's 42.
Off the bootleg. Moore. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Moore now. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Green Bay's offense getting the football back here. You know, we've talked in recent weeks of the favorable early season schedule for the Packers. The win over Oakland wrapped up a stretch of 5 out of 6 games at home, and indeed, the Packers won all 5 of those games. But now, Charles, the tough part of the schedule begins.
Certainly does, right? 4 of their next 5 on the road. Starts with this Sunday night, Week 8 at Kansas City, but they may have caught a break. Patrick Mahomes may not play for KC, so we'll see. Then they travel to Carson, California to take on the struggling Chargers. May have caught a break with that one. Then they're back home for a game against the Panthers, and that will be tough because the Panthers' defense playing so well. And who can tackle Christian McCaffrey? And then finally 2 more road games. At San Francisco, who's playing as well as anyone in the league, and at the New York Giants. Only 1 more home game between now and December 15th. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. Chris Jones on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The connection made. It's Graham. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
25 yards that time.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
Check 56. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Now Jones. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
I'm coming for you. You mine.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Crosby puts it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Chiefs offense takes the field again here, and let's look at what happened week 7. They beat up on Denver 30-6, and the Chiefs needed that after home losses to Indy and Houston. Now, the big story, of course, Patrick Mahomes dislocated patella. That was the quarterback sneak play that everybody was talking about. And
hold on a second. What is a dislocated patella for us who don't understand, who don't speak medical?
I was just going to get there, Mr. Davis. It's a dislocated kneecap.
Oh, thank you.
But it seems like they might get him back sooner than they originally thought.
Yeah, originally, as you know, the word was, 3 to 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Now we're hearing reports that it may be on the low side of that, maybe 3 weeks. And if that's the case, he could be back for the Minnesota game after missing the Green Bay game on Sunday night.
And the key for him and why he could be back sooner, no ligament damage, a big sigh of relief. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
To throw is Moore. From the gun, he'll throw toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Safety Adrian Amos was a free agent in 2018, and division rival Green Bay took note and brought him to Wisconsin to patrol the center of their defense and also drop down near the line of scrimmage and make some big-time plays in the running game.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
53, Mike.
Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They go play action here on first down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Frank Clark in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Throwing is Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
You ready?
Mike 42, check, Mike 42. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Now Moore.
Let's get off the field.
Got his man. It's Williams. And they work this out past the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Here we go. 60 or.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down.
Ready?
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On the set.
42. Cut.
Go.
Here's Moore on first down. And this is caught by Watkins. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight whip into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. 6-0 our score after one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal.
Here we go. Showing up.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Push him back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Robinson's got it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now more. Off play action. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for KC. 42 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. But with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year, he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Right. 3 down.
Looking to throw. Moore. This is caught. Watkins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. Now McCoy. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
90 is the mic. Know your job.
Ready?
Moore now. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Butker's kick here is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13 to 3. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
3 buds.
Now it's Rodgers. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Moore on 1st and 10. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Tighten up. Pull it together. 42's
Throwing on 1st down. Moore. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, Steve.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. He's got Lewis. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On the ready. Choose the mic. Check. 42's the mic. We don't want this.
To throw is Moore. Throwing on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Got it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
That's track. 42's the mic, boys. 40 down. 42's the mic.
Here's Moore, operating from the gun. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Tremont Williams there to break that one up.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Back to throw. Moore. And that will be incomplete as well.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
53, Mike 53.
They run with a fullback now. This is Dan Vitale. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
Now Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
I'm scared.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, Charles, switching gears on a bit of a sad note. On Tuesday, October 22nd, Willie Brown passed away. Willie Brown, 16 seasons in the NFL. First 4 for the Broncos, and then the final 12 as an Oakland Raider.
And just think about his career. Hall of Fame 1984, 9-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro. And let's face it, the lasting image we'll have of him as a player, that interception of Fran Tarkenton in the Super Bowl. The old man, Willie Brown, taking it all the way back, 75 yards against the Vikings for a touchdown. The Raiders won Super Bowl 11. I had the pleasure of getting to know Willie Brown over the years. And when I tried out for the Dallas Cowboys, we scrimmaged the Raiders at one point. And Willie Brown came over to me and had some nice things to say to me, which was really pretty cool coming from a man of his stature and a man of his ability. And I'll treasure those nice words forever.
Rodgers going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
8-3. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Check, 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 check. 5.
Now Moore off the play fake. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. This is McCoy. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Moore now to throw on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
Let's go.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Moore now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Moore looking to throw on 2nd down. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Moore now, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 47-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here back onto the field comes Jimmy Graham. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, partner.
And defenses have worked so hard at how to try to slow down tight ends. It was a lot easier, partner, in the old days because when they just lined up on the line of scrimmage, either put a defensive end or a linebacker over them and tried to body them so they couldn't get off the line of scrimmage easy.
And now?
Now, when they split out, detach from the line of scrimmage, you put a linebacker out there, they're often too elusive for them. Shake them and get into the secondary too easily before someone else can try and pick them up.
Watch the slant.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Rodgers again now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. This one out quickly to Watkins. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. But they are all even to this point. So to see if either side can pull away, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the start of the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Let's go. 90, Wolf. What we got? What we got? What we got? Coming.
They start the second half here with Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. The defense pushing the run game back on the first play of the third quarter.
But I don't think that means abandoning the run totally. Sometimes you just have to focus on execution, right? They always talk about players, not plays. Well, tell your players to block a little bit better, and maybe the ground game can get going.
So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the gun, Moore, and that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 15. This is Jones. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 17, Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Hill shedding the tackle. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Squeeze, double.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's our time.
To throw is Moore. To throw on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice. or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Moore. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready. 42's the mic. Come on. Check 43.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Second and 4. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run on first down. McCoy. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Williams. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Intended for DeMarcus Robinson. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Graham's got it, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers have taken the lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later, not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Now Crosby for the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
In your face.
On the counter, here's Williams. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Well, earlier, Charles, we looked at some of the Week 8 games that were intriguing. How about some Week 8 games where you've got a team that really needs a win? And I was thinking about the Chargers at Chicago and Cleveland at New England. You feel like the Chargers and Cleveland need to find a way to get a victory.
I think you're exactly right, and the Chargers' chances are really slipping away.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Chicago, I would throw in there as well at 3-3 and struggling on offense. They say they know they need to run the ball more. They absolutely must run the ball more. But Cleveland and New England, for me with Cleveland, with all the high expectations in preseason, it's almost a must-win at a place almost no one wins.
And a couple more here. Giants at Detroit. All of a sudden, Detroit's at the bottom of the NFC North.
And everyone says the same thing about them. They have great talent. That's a really good football team. Hard to believe they're at 2-3-1 right now.
Last but not least, what about the Steelers hosting Miami Monday night? They cannot lose that one.
They absolutely cannot, because Baltimore is threatening to run away with the division. Pittsburgh has to have that game on Monday night.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Williams. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Come off the ball.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Flying in to blow that play up, Alex Okafor. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Throwing now is Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, that takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now it's Rodgers. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight from the left hash. This from 37. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Let's get that ball. Let's go.
And fights through one man. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Williams. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And, you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Moore. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Able to fight through one tackle. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
Again, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Third and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
On 1st and 10, Moore. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And this is caught by Watkins. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Moore. And Robinson with a big catch. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Moore. Off play action. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Montravius Adams showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Hey, watch the lane.
42's the mic, boys. 42. 42's the mic. Get.
Moore now. It's Kelsey on the ground. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On the ready.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Moore now, operating from the gun. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Check, 53, Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Quick the edge.
On second down now, it's Williams. And he goes across the 20 to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
You saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Moore throwing to start the drive. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Back to throw. Moore under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Dean Lowry just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Looking to throw. Moore. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Moore. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Moore. To throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field. But this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Here we go. 30 base. 50 to Mike. I'm coming. 2.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Bell. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 10th carry now for McCoy. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Butker able to put this one through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Check safety.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get the ball.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
319. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you try to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 37. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll go again to Jones. Breaks a tackle. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is. The things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
319. 53. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. 319.
On 1st down, it's Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, here's Jones. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And Crosby puts it through, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So the Chiefs now down on the scoreboard. 1:50 to play. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10.
Pittsburgh.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Get it.
Here's Moore on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Moore, throwing again. Caught here by Bell. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Moore now on 3rd down. And it's complete to Kelsey. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
Oh, no, he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now Moore. And his throw is incomplete. Damian Williams, the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Moore from the gun, he'll throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. On 4th down, Moore. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Green 18. Man, I got you.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Focus, defense, focus. Kill. Turn up.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best.